Hey everybody, thanks for checking out Freedom and Whiskey. I write articles, make t-shirts, and I have a podcast called Out of the Closet Republican. I appreciate you listening to my stuff that I make, and I hope that you learned something. Please hit the subscribe button, and from one patriot to another, cheers to being an American. I have a lot of things that I want to cover today for our 2+2. Did you know that a lot of women currently are sterilizing themselves? That's right, sterilizing themselves. So there's this whole thing happening called the 4B movement where women, and it's kind of circulating through social media platforms, TikTok, etc., where women are going to be refraining from sex for the next 4 years. Not gonna lie, the people who are refraining from sex probably shouldn't be having it to begin with. They're so freaked out about this national abortion ban through Project 2025 that they are warding off sex, they're warding off men, they're scared of every white man and his elitist white privilege, and so they will be refraining from sex. They are shaving their heads, they're shaving their hair off, and, that might also help them as another form of birth control, as no one will want to have sex with them. So that might help them actually retain their abstinence over the next 4 years. So yeah, that's happening. They're wearing blue bracelets. So if they see another woman in public with a blue bracelet, they know that they're not part of the problem. They didn't vote for Trump, and they're within a friendly and happy-go-lucky community, right? It's these same people that talk about living in a peaceful and wonderful community that supports one another, and we affirm every single identity. These are also the same people that are on the internet saying, I will cut you off if you vote for Trump. You're blocked. I hate you. Go die. That's right. They're telling people to go die. These are the same people. So, I'm a huge fan of pointing out hypocrisy, and the 4B movement and the TDS issue is definitely one of the most exciting, thrilling hypocrisy movements that you could possibly witness. So, women are sterilizing themselves. I actually saw this on Facebook. Someone shared this, and it's an infographic little poster with happy flowers on it that says Oklahoma OBGYNs to talk to about your sterilization options. So it's a whole list of doctors in Oklahoma that will sterilize you. And women are actually getting their tubes tied. I have some videos here. There's one that just has a video of her in the hospital after getting her tubes tied. Saying the government can't take away my choice as she ties her tubes. Okay. It's a little bit extreme, all right? Especially because you can get abortions in different states. It's a plane ticket, but that's me. Minnesota, Tim Walz, he will let you get an abortion at any stage. You could be about to pop the baby out. They'll let you get an abortion. I don't know why we have to tie our tubes, but okay. If you want to make that permanent decision, I don't think Republicans are going to be mad. Just saying. But this woman also just made the appointment to have her tubes tied.
This morning, when I learned that Donald Trump had been elected president for a second time, the first thing I did was have a good long cry. The second thing I did was get on the phone and make a doctor's appointment for a surgical consultation to get my tubes tied. It's something that I've been thinking about doing for a really long time, and I feel like now is the appropriate time to do it before my option to choose that for myself and for my body is stripped away from me. So tomorrow morning at 10:30, I am going into my doctor's office and I am going to ask her to do the surgery. When I was making my appointment, the receptionist mentioned that she saw in my chart that I had been in about 8 months ago for a consultation, and she said, "What's bringing you back? What changed your mind?" And I said, "I feel like now is the right time." And she said, "I completely understand." If having your tubes tied is something that you have been thinking about doing for a while, or you feel like it's right for you, I highly urge you to make the appointment and go get it done before you no longer have the option to do so.
You can have your tubes tied at any time. I believe you have to be of a certain age, but nobody's taking away the ability to have your tubes tied. Okay? I'll also take things that never happened, Alex, for $400. There's no way she called her doctor's office and they said, "What's making you change your mind?" Nobody said that. Guaranteed, okay? And she's also urging other women to go sterilize themselves. She's, "I urge you. You better do it before you're not allowed to do it anymore." Republicans are not telling people to sterilize themselves. I'm just saying. We have Democrats urging now grown women to do this and children. So, the next thing we're going to talk about, which I think is absolutely crazy, is this movement within the 4B movement that's going around called Make Aqua Tofana Great Again. So Aqua Tofana apparently was this poison that you could make from various items around a household. I think it was in the 17th century in Italy. You could make this poison. This woman made this poison in Italy, and she would poison abusive husbands, and they wouldn't find out the cause of death ever because it was like a very subtle poison. So Democrats, the left right now, is panicking about Donald Trump being elected so badly that they're actually putting all over social media that we need to make Aqua Tofana great again. And it's video clips of people dancing in their kitchens making, I don't know if they're really making it or they're pouring water into stuff, but they're dancing around with this Aqua Tofana, saying that, essentially implying that they're going to kill Republicans and Trump supporters.
Gonna happen, sweetie. Your body, our choice.
I got that adrenaline.
All day, every day, therapist, mother, maid, nymph, then a virgin, nurse, then a servant, just an appendage, lip to attendant, so that he never lifts a finger. 24/7 baby machine, so he can live out his picket fence dreams. It's not an act of love if you make her, you make me too much labor.
Aqua Tofana. Am I right? Aqua Tofana. If you know, you know.
Barely can wait to hit him with the snare and the bass. Swear in the face, this fucking world better prepare to get laced because they're gonna taste my venom. Barely can wait to hit him with the snare and the bass. Swear in the face, this fucking world better prepare to get laced because they're gonna taste my venom. I got that adrenaline, not knowing when I'm.
Speaking to me is a privilege. You do not have privileges.
Diva is a female version of a hustler, of a hustler, of a hustler. Diva is a
Barely can wait to hit him with the snare and the bass. Swear in the face, this fucking world better prepare to get laced because they're gonna taste my venom. I got that adrenaline, not knowing when I'm.
there's videos of women wearing the poison rings, the old-fashioned poison rings, and saying that, oh, it would be so easy to just slip poison into people's drinks or food. So I'm bringing this up because I just want people to be aware of the fact that Democrats are talking about possibly using, crazy, unhinged people are talking about possibly using Aqua Tofana to poison Trump supporters by putting it in their poison rings. Okay? So just know about that. Keep an eye on it, I guess. See if your unhinged server at a restaurant or at the bar, and if you're wearing Trump, paraphernalia, as I would call it, if you're wearing that in public, just make sure that they're not wearing rings, or ask to watch them make your drink. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know how many people are actually doing it, if it's just a threat. Either way, it's super messed up. It's not something that I would ever do to somebody for voting for Kamala, but, that's just where we're at in society right now. So to continue on the abortion thing, because I do want to address this. For me, okay, I always saw myself as a pro-choice Republican. That's what I always tell people. I always saw myself as a pro-choice Republican. It was something that I had an issue with. I wanted women to have the choice to abort. Then when I started learning about how women were able, especially in Minnesota, to get abortions within the 8th and 9th month, I thought that was messed up. Okay. I do believe in the life of the mother. I do believe that there are exceptions where maybe the baby wouldn't be born healthy. I do believe in exceptions for rape and incest. Okay, I have no problems with any of this. I do think that women do need more time. I would be fine with a 20-week extension rather than this, the 6-week thing. I think that's a bit early. Okay, so I'm a little bit middle of the road as far as that goes. I don't want to kill a baby that could live outside of the womb, all right? And I do believe that, in instances of rape, that's pretty messed up. There needs to be exceptions for that in every single state, okay? I believe if a minor is raped, they deserve to be able to have an abortion, okay? I don't think that is unreasonable. But I want to bring this to people's attention, which I don't know if any Democrat would be listening to this podcast. But if you are, I think it's important because over the last 4 years, we have seen the Democrats stating that if you have an abortion, you're going to be arrested. If you travel to another state to have an abortion, you're going to be arrested. If you have an ectopic pregnancy, a miscarriage, if your baby's stillborn, you're going to be arrested. These things are not true. Okay, I did extensive research today. I have not found any documentation where this is the case. There are no states, actually. And in fact, there is verbiage in the laws. I think Oklahoma and Nebraska is like a little bit iffy, okay? But there is verbiage in a majority of most states where if a woman actively seeks an abortion, or if a woman has an abortion, the woman can never be prosecuted for that crime. When they overturned Roe v. Wade, there was very specific verbiage stating that a woman, whoever is carrying the child, should never be criminally prosecuted for having an abortion. Now, where the law is targeting is the people who are aiding the abortion happening in a state where it is not allowed. So if a doctor in a state where it's not allowed performs an abortion on you, you will never go to jail. But the doctor could face some legal repercussions. So I just want to get that clear. But what I delved deeper into today was when miscarriages are a crime. I found a Planned Parenthood article, which I have here, that I will be reading, and it is linked on the website, that talks about women who were arrested for miscarriages and stillborn babies. And, I'm reading this, and I know where I'm reading it from. I'm reading it from Planned Parenthood. And I'm like, wow, this is super fucked up. Like, they're arresting women for having miscarriages. And I want to read this to you because I want to show what Planned Parenthood is telling people. And then I want to read the news articles that talk about each of these cases so you can see when miscarriage, well, let me just be straightforward here. Miscarriage is not a crime. There is a crime that you can commit after miscarriage, which will then get you arrested. But in Planned Parenthood, the title of this article is When Miscarriage is a Crime. So part of this article talks about criminalizing pregnancy loss casts pregnant people as vessels rather than people. A fetus is a person by law in Alabama and therefore can qualify as a victim of homicide. So here it says, in Arkansas, 5 women have been arrested for stillbirth or miscarriage, 3 between 1884 and 1994, 1 in 2015 and another in 2016. So 5 women in Arkansas. So it is rare because they're talking about 1884 here. So we're over 100 years. 5 people have been arrested. Now, and we don't know the cases of why those women were arrested. I want to point that out as well. But I also want to highlight the fact that each of these arrests all were during Roe versus Wade. All the propaganda that I'm seeing online about women being arrested for miscarriages makes it seem like it has become possible to be arrested for a miscarriage due to the overturning of Roe v. Wade. However, in in Arkansas, all of these cases happened during Roe v. Wade. So how is that a talking point if it was happening regardless of Roe v. Wade or not? So I have a couple instances that are in the article. In 2016, Arkansas woman Kishiana Reed miscarried twins at 24 weeks. Panicked, traumatized, and heartbroken, she buried them. When their bodies were found, she turned herself in, and an autopsy confirmed they had died in the womb. No illegal substances were found. She was charged with abuse of a corpse, which could sentence her up to 10 years in prison. She is still awaiting trial. So, the issue is not that she miscarried her twins. She was not arrested for miscarrying babies. She was arrested because she buried the remains. There's specific laws in the United States, and I want to highlight this. You cannot bury human remains, okay? In the United States, do not bury human remains. If you find human remains, if you miscarry a child, if you have a stillborn child, do not bury or move the body, okay? Because it's you just can't do it, okay? You can't bury a body because it looks like you're committing a crime, right? So you have to call the authorities. You need to probably call the doctor and say, hey, I miscarried or in my home, or I gave birth to a stillborn in my home. What do I do? Okay. We don't hide the body. Okay. Hiding the body is a crime. Now, I am wanting to highlight this on today's show because what the media has done over the last 4 years is tell women if they miscarry, they're going to get arrested, right? And so now we have scared women into saying, oh, well, if I miscarry, I should hide the baby so no one knows I was pregnant. That is what will get you arrested. That's the irony of it, is that the media has scared these women so badly that they're going to feel like they need to hide the baby, the miscarriage, the pregnancy. And that is the exact thing that will get you in trouble with the law. In all of the instances that I found of miscarrying or stillborn women, stillborn babies causing women to be arrested, in each of them, the woman hid the body. Okay. So in 2016, and this is still the Planned Parenthood. Now they're making it sound like these women are just getting arrested for giving birth to a stillborn baby or miscarrying. There is multiple women in this article. I'm going to read this next one, actually. In 2013, Indiana woman Purvi Patel went to the emergency department for bleeding. She was likely 23 to 24 years pregnant, and the child was stillborn. The police were called, Patel was arrested, and she was charged with feticide and neglect of a dependent. Despite a lack of evidence, prosecutors argued that the child was alive when it was born and she neglected it, leading to its death. They claimed she bought abortion drugs online to terminate her pregnancy, despite toxicology reports showing nothing of the sort in her system. In 2015, Patel became the first American woman to be sentenced on a feticide charge. She was given 20 years in prison. In 2016, her conviction was overturned after she appealed to the court. She was released, but not before being traumatized by the unethical way the justice system treated her. Okay, I'm reading this in the Planned Parenthood article, and I'm like, this is crazy. This is ridiculous. Why was she arrested? Well, then I looked it up, because that's what you do. You read an article, and then you look for more articles. So let's specifically look for the Patel one here. This is from NBC News, okay, talking about Patel. Indiana sentenced 33-year-old Purvi Patel to 20 years in prison. Okay, goes through the thing again. This is the most important part. Patel was arrested in July 2013 after she went to the emergency room bleeding heavily at St. Joseph Hospital in Mishawaka, Indiana. Despite initially denying the pregnancy, Patel eventually admitted to medical authorities that she had a miscarriage and threw the stillborn fetus in a dumpster. That right there, that's why she got arrested. Not because she gave birth to a stillborn baby, but because she threw it in a dumpster. The Planned Parenthood article makes it sound like she was arrested just for giving birth to a baby that wasn't alive. She was arrested specifically for hiding the body. You cannot tamper with human remains. Here we go. This is another one from the Planned Parenthood article. In 2016, Catherine Dellis gave birth to a stillborn baby in her home. She went to the doctor to receive necessary medical care afterward, only to be arrested. An autopsy showed the baby had died at 30 to 32 weeks into the pregnancy. She was sentenced to 5 months in prison for concealing a dead body, despite the fact that the fetus had died in the womb. So that's what the Planned Parenthood article says. Catherine Dellis put the remains of the baby into a bath mat and then put that into the trash in her home. She was arrested for tampering with human remains. Don't do it. So do not try to hide the fact that you had a baby, because that's what gets you arrested. And I'm worried because they're going to scare all these women by telling them that they can't get an abortion, by telling them there's a national abortion ban, by telling them that it's illegal to have a miscarriage, it's illegal to travel over state lines, it's illegal to have an ectopic pregnancy. These women are going to hide their pregnancies because of the media, and they're either going to get hurt, They're not going to go get medical treatment. It is not illegal for a doctor to treat you for miscarriage or for ectopic pregnancy, okay? They have scared you into believing that. You can go get treatment. If your doctor tells you, oh, I can't treat you because of the law, that's not true. You need to find another doctor. We need to go to a different hospital. We need to find somewhere else that will treat you. Is that a mess because of the overturning of Roe v. Wade? Yes, I agree. It has become a mess. Doctors need to be educated that you can treat a woman for miscarriage and ectopic pregnancy. This is not illegal, okay? It's not illegal in any state. But you can't hide the body, okay? Now, the other woman that I stated in the Planned Parenthood article, Kishiana Reed, all right, she climbed, this is from New York Times now, stomach pains woke her late one night. She climbed into the bathtub, hoping she would not wake any of the other 9 people living in her small home in eastern Arkansas. Within minutes, she delivered twins, a boy and a girl. Both babies were born dead, the medical examiner would later determine. Their mother, 24, and already a mother of 3, panicked. She found an old purple suitcase, put the bodies inside, and got into her car. She began to pray and drove, she said, according to a court affidavit, leaving the suitcase on the side of County Road 602. That's what got her arrested. This is why we need to be very honest about our pregnancies. Do not allow the media to scare you into hiding pregnancy. Thanks for listening to Out of the Closet Republican. Now's the time to care. Now's the time to research. And now's the time to finally speak up. And if you're scared to, remember, it's Republican, not Republicant.